Ben has a question about music rights for a live show that he's planning. Hi, I'm attorney Gordon Firemark, and this is Asked and Answered, where I answer common entertainment law questions to help you take your career and business to the next level. So Ben wrote in with this. I am planning a musical variety show next year with a variety of genres. Those genres include country, Broadway, gospel, pop, patriotic, opera, jazz, and who knows what else. Is there one place I can go to get permission and usage fees for all the music used? Okay, Ben, here's the situation. First off, it's great and appropriate that you're asking about the rights. Almost any popular song from the last century or so is likely protected under copyright law. Generally, a copyright owner has the exclusive right to make or distribute copies or derivatives of the original, or to display or perform that work publicly, and that's what we're talking about here. But with musical works in particular, there's also an important distinction made about how the work is performed publicly. You see, when the performance is made in a concert style, or played on a radio or on a stage in a little coffee house or something like that, it's handled differently than when it's performed as part of a dramatic work in a theater or on a major stage. So essentially, we have non-dramatic performance rights, which are sometimes called small rights, and dramatic performance rights, which are also sometimes called grand rights. So with a variety show like the one you've described, we're probably talking about those small rights. And that's great. You see, there are groups called performing rights organizations that administer the rights for the publishers and copyright owners of the song. Here in the United States, there are 3 of those performing rights organizations: ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. What these organizations do is collect royalties for all of the various non-dramatic performances out there. Radio, television broadcasts, those coffee shops I mentioned, restaurants, nightclubs, hotels, auto repair shops, and yes, variety shows. As long as the variety show doesn't cross the line into the grand rights arena, the PROs, the ASCAPs and BMIs of the world, can handle it. So what distinguishes grand from small rights? Well, it's sort of a totality of the circumstances kind of an analysis. If your show has lots of costumes and props and sets and dialogue in between songs, choreography, stage directions, lighting and sound cues, and a storyline, then it's definitely going to be considered a dramatic performance, and you would need those grand rights licenses that you get directly from the copyright owners. But if it's more like a concert without all those kinds of elements, you can have some, but not all of them, and it's just mostly about the songs, then it's more likely to be viewed as non-dramatic, small rights. And those rights fall under the licenses that you get from those PROs that I mentioned. And here's the interesting wrinkle. For the small, non-dramatic licenses, in most cases, the venue where the works are being performed is the party that gets the license. So if you're performing in a theater or performing arts center, check in with them. The rights may already have been taken care of. If you're in a school setting, you may need to confirm that the school or district has the necessary licenses in place. Most of them do. Typically, small rights in these situations are handled through blanket licenses that cover everything done in that place for an annual fee. But if you're performing in a space that isn't usually used for these kinds of things, it might be necessary to get a specific purpose license to cover your show. But even that isn't overly complicated. Just contact these organizations and they'll help work out which license it is you need. True, it's not exactly one-stop shopping, because there could be songs that are part of ASCAP's repertoire and others in BMI's and still others licensed by CSAC, or even more complex, songs where one songwriter is a member of ASCAP and the other was BMI. But even so, it's a heck of a lot simpler than getting the rights from each individual publisher, songwriter, or songwriter's heir. And that's exactly what does have to happen if you're dealing with a grand rights scenario. If that's what you're up against, you will want to have help from a qualified and experienced professional. This is what we do here, so give us a call. And if you have a question you'd like to see answered here on Asked and Answered, just visit firemark.com/questions and let me know. I'll see you next time.